Good evening, welcome back to the Fire Burns Within channel. A review for you guys today. This is Cannibal Corpse, Violence Unimagined, their brand new album, their 15th studio album, released April 16th. It's just about to be released very soon now. So Cannibal, I've liked these guys for about, I don't know, since, well, I think I heard Vile when Corpse Grinder first joined. That was the first album I heard, and I didn't like it too much, but I really got into them on Gallery of Suicide, like I think around 98, 99. That's the first time I really got into them, and then I started going back and listening to the early stuff, the Chris Barnes era, and I didn't like it a lot. I know a lot of people like the Barnes era, but I didn't really like it that much. I found it's okay, but it's not anything great for me. But from the Corpse Grinder era, they started getting really good around, say, just after the next album, after what was it now? After Gallery of Suicide, Bloodthirst, Gore Obsessed, The Wretched Spawn, Kill is my favourite. I absolutely love Kill. Torture, all their latter day stuff is rock solid. Well, anyway, here we go with a track by track review of Violence Unimagined. I've listened to this album 4 times now in fairly quick succession. I really wanted to immerse myself in it and get my thoughts out on each song, and so I've basically listened to it 4 times now, every track, with headphones as well, so I can get a great feel for it, what's going on and that, without much interference from the outside. So I've done a track by track ranking. I've given each track a rate out of 10, and then I'll take an average at the end and give an average rate. There's 11 tracks on the album. As you all know, Eric Rutan is now a full-time member of the band, as well as the producer. Pat O'Brien has left due to his problems that he had. So Eric Rutan is now a full-time member of the band. And he contributes 3 songs actually to the album, but more of that as we go along. Okay, the first track is Murderous Rampage. Music is by Rob Barrett, lyrics by Paul Mazurkiewicz, the drummer. This is an awesome start for the album. I mean, it's a typical Cannibal Corpse song. It's like a bullet fast, rapid fire, intricate riffing, onslaught of hammering riffs, a great speed change towards the middle, great vocal patterns from Corpse Grinder. In fact, Corpse Grinder is on top form on this song and album, but more of Corpse Grinder as we go along. His vocals are very understandable. This song is like full rage. It's got a few twists, few great grooves, great parts, great sections. I rate that song as 8 out of 10. Okay, track 2 is Necrogenic Resurrection. Music and lyrics by bassist Alex Webster on this one. This track is similar to track 1. It's hard to tell them apart quite a bit. I mean, the way they've positioned these 2 tracks together, I don't know, I would have maybe done it slightly differently because they sound very similar. But it's just like a slightly inferior version of Murderous Rampage to me. It's got a slower breakdown in the middle that sort of distinguishes it from track 1. But I don't know, the breakdown is fairly mundane and quite boring. It's not as good as Murderous Rampage. It's an okay track. 7 out of 10 for that track. Track 3 is Inhumane Harvest, music and lyrics by guitarist Rob Barrett. This was the lead single on the album. When I first heard the lead single, I was a bit so-so on it, but having listened to it another 4 times now, it's really quite growing on me, this track. The riffs are much catchier on this one. They're not as fast, but they're a little bit more intricate, a little bit more groovy, you know, a little bit more sort of like send your head spinning, a little bit more dexterous in the notes. Vocals on this track are immense. The drum work is really good as well from Mazurka Witch. Song changes pace quite a lot. It's got a lot of you know, a little bit of diversity. It goes twisting and turning. Song really grows on you. Nice solo spots as well. Cool song. 8 out of 10 for Inhumane Harvest. Okay, track 4 is Condemnation Contagion. Bit of a mouthful, that one. This is the first track with music and lyrics by Eric Rutan, who's now a member of the band, like I was saying. The song starts off fairly slow and mundane with sort of like a dirty, heavy riff, but you know, it sounds sort of slightly boring. But then it sort of comes to life with a really superb, like really heavy, groovy headbanger type riff. You know, really easy for headbangers to lock onto and bang to that one. You know, it was a bit, you know, it wasn't very promising, but then the song builds. It's got good groove. The hi-hat riding from Paul Mazurkiewicz is really good. I love the hi-hat riding on the whole album. In fact, those sections are excellent. The lead break is really good, and then it returns to that heavy hammering groove. Overall, it's a very good song. It's not a perfect song, but it's very good. It grows on me. So I give that one an 8 out of 10. Okay, in 5th track is Surround, Kill, Devour, music and lyrics by bassist Alex Webster. This is a killer track. This is a typical Webster penned death metal track. He's got this sort of knack for a groove, for a little bit of melody. The main riff can get quite technical sounding, which is the first time it can sound fairly technical. It's got like little jagged taps, little edgy, little melody lines. A very cool song. It's a really catchy feel to this song. The riffs are good, very twisted, like I was saying, very sick, very clean. The drum work again from Mazurkiewicz is very good. The hi-hat work. This is my favourite song of the album so far. It gets an 8.5 out of 10 for me, I should add. Okay, track 6 is called Ritual Annihilation. Music and lyrics again by Eric Rutan. This song, it hasn't grown on me after 4 listens. It's fairly uninteresting. It sounds like a Morbid Angel Cast-Off type of riff to start this one off. Vocals are spat forth from Corpse Grinder without a real catchy pattern. It's sort of just speedy spat forth, but no sort of like feel for the catchiness. There's a little bit of a better break and a groove to the song later on, but for me overall this is quite a low point in the album. The song gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Okay, track 7 is Follow the Blood, music and lyrics by guitarist Rob Barrett. This one has a cool repeating riff pattern starting off before a really thick, dirty, lurching groove comes in. You know, the guitar on this song is as thick as the guitar is gonna get. I mean, the guitar sounds really meaty, really thick, really dirty. You know, it's just super heavy. If you like it heavy, you're gonna love that song. And then when Corpse Grinder utters the chorus or just the words "Follow the Blood," then the song suddenly picks up pace. You get that typical Cannibal Corpse pace change. It really twists into a speeding riff, and then it slowly goes back into the groovy bit. Typical sort of switching of pace, which Cannibal Corpse are masters at. Switching pace between a sort of groove and a hammer on. Very cool song overall. I didn't love it, but I respect it. It's a 7.5 out of 10 for that song. Okay, track 8 is Bound and Burned. Again, music and lyrics by Rob Barrett. Good start to the song. It's got that Paul Mazurkiewicz hi-hat riding again. Solid chugging riffs before the drums hammer on again. And we get little lead embellishments quite early on, which is quite cool. Vocals again, very savage, very understandable from Corpse Grinder. That's what I like. I mean, you can understand so much on this album from Corpse Grinder. Some decent grooves in this song. Usual cool Cannibal Corpse change ups, the speeds. These guys are experts at the change ups. You can look for them by timing. Like if they've played 1 minute one style, the change up is coming sooner or later. This is a good song. Again, I rate this at 7.5 out of 10. Track 9 is Slowly Sawn. It's a track with music and lyrics again by bassist Alex Webster. This one starts off with a simple stabbing riff, and again that sweet hi-hat riding, which is happening a lot on this album, and I really enjoy that. And then a real cool vocal delivery from Corpse Grinder. The riffing starts, and this is like a sick tune. It's got great grooves, very technical, typical Webster style. He's got this style where you can sort of tell that he's written the song and not one of the other members. It's not like a real speedy song either. It's just like a clinical, sick riff fest. Very enjoyable, nice, clean sounding production. Very cool solo as well. Some intricate riffing to follow. I think this is definitely my favorite song on the album. I rate this song as 9 out of 10. Track 10 is called Over Torture, which is the shortest song on the album. It's a song written by Eric Rutan, both music and lyrics. This is the shortest song. It's probably the fastest song as well. It's definitely in the Hate Eternal style, proper, brutal, fast. I mean, the vocal delivery from Corpse Grinder on this one is like off the chart. He's like, I don't know how he's gonna do if they have to sing this one live. He's gonna struggle with this one. It's gonna be difficult. He's spitting lyrics out like there's no tomorrow. Absolute frenzy track. Overall, I'm not fond of this track. It doesn't do a lot for me. It's aggression if you just seek aggression and nothing else. No catchiness, no memorability. I mean, it's just one-dimensional speed fest aggression. It's okay, but I rated it at 6 out of 10. Okay, we reached the final track on the album, track 11, Cerements of the Flayed. Music is by Alec Webster and lyrics by Paul Mazurkiewicz. Track starts off slow with that lurching style, the heavy chugging, before Corpse Grinder bellows slowly over the top. Complete contrast to the last song where he's just rapid fire spitting lyrics. This time he's sort of like going heavy, low, growling, and it's very cool as well. A good change, but it doesn't last long, and you know the Webster style is coming soon. This picks up pace as most Cannibal Corpse songs do, with a slow, slick, groovy riff and a catchier approach, much catchier vocal style, which is a great contrast to the slow beginning, and then you can return to the slow part again after, which they do. The catchy parts of this song are really cool, very headbangy. It's a solid end to the album. I rate that song 8 out of 10. So overall, we've got a rating, an average rating for this album of 7.6 out of 10. To me, this is a solid latter-day Cannibal Corpse album. I know a lot of people are really excited for this album. I've heard people saying the band is like fully energized. Rutan has like given them fresh impetus, a fresh outlook on all things death metal. But to me, I don't really hear that. I mean, I hear more of the same latter-day Cannibal Corpse. It's not anything out of the ordinary. You know, it's very heavy, very cleanly produced, but very raw guitar sound. You know, very buzzy, thick guitar sound. The bass sound is sometimes audible, not always. You can hear Alex's bass sometimes doing some intricate stuff, cool stuff in the background, but not all the time. Most of the time he's just adding weight to the guitar, so you can't really make it out that well. Corpse Grinder, he's on top form on this album. I mean, he really is on top form. He sounds some of the best vocals he's produced ever. You know, very cool, crisp, raw but understandable vocals. Very cool. The chops on the album, the solos are very cool. They're typical Corpse. You know, not always melodic, sometimes chaotic. I do actually miss Pat O'Brien's solos. I thought his solos are quite good on previous albums. Some of the catchiness on the album is missing. I don't know. Like I said, the way Eric writes, he writes very aggressively. He sort of writes very brutal, and you lose some of the catchiness that you would otherwise have on some songs. I mean, Alex Webster, he's still a great catchy writer, and he shows that on his songs. I do like one of the Rutan Pen songs, the one I gave 8 out of 10 to, which is Condemnation Contagion. I do like that one a lot. The other two are not great songs in my opinion. So that's it. My overall rating was at 7.6 out of 10. You can push that to an 8 if you like. A lot of people will probably be giving this an 8.5. Some may even give it a 9. But I think that will be pushing it. It's a rock solid latter-day Cannibal Corpse album. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. There's no surprises. People talk about freshness, but I don't know, it just sounds like another Cannibal Corpse album to me. It's what you expect. There's no surprises. The performances are top-notch. The songs are solid. It does what it says on the tin. Okay, hope you enjoyed this review. Write in the comments what you think about Cannibal Corpse, what you think about this album, what I've got wrong, what I should listen to again, etc. Okay, stay tuned for more reviews, more reactions coming your way.